Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 16 of our webinar series, Engage 2.0. The topic for this particularly focused on-demand webinar is what to expect from the Indian Ferrochrome industry in 2022. I'd like to inform you right now that our speaker is facing some technical issues and he should be joining in soon. But at the outset, I would first like to thank our sponsors, NNDC, JSW, Steel, Tata Steel, and also extend our gratitude to the Ministry of Steel, Government of India, and Indian Steel Association for their valuable support. We have managed to bring you a highly informative and enormously well-known personality in the ferrochrome industry. Our speaker for this session is Mr. Bhartendu Gupta from Jindal Stainless Limited, a leading stainless steel producer in India. He's Associate Vice President Purchase at Jindal Stainless Limited. Welcome, sir. Any opening comments?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen, and the participants, those who are there to to discuss the present scenario of stainless steel and steel, which has changed in last 10-12 days unprecedentedly. Though this webinar was decided in the month of February for today. At that point of time, the scenario was different, and today is totally different. And it has a lot of meaning, how the present scenario is going to get affected and its impact on the steel industry. So yes, I'm honored that Steel Mint has given me opportunity to talk to you, to share my experience and understanding about the steel industry, and one of the major constituent of steel or stainless steel in ferroalloys, which is ferrochrome, the major ingredient. Okay, besides nickel and manganese and silicon and other precious raw materials which are required to make stainless steel more viable and more which gives strength, and it has many properties which makes a customer to give focus towards stainless steel. So I'm thankful and I'm delighted. Yes, I'm with you all, and I would like to share whatever is asked from me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I look forward to all the insights. I will be sharing my screen now and giving a brief presentation, post which we will be taking in some questions from our speaker. We will.
Yeah, it's visible. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sir. We will first start with the market overview, and then on the emerging demand and supply scenario, followed by the challenges faced by the Indian ferrochrome industry. The first graph on the right side shows how the chromo reserves have consolidated in 2020. Around 97% of Indian chromo reserves are found in Odisha's Sukinda Valley. Thus, most of the producers are based in the state, with a few small producers scattered across nearby states. If we look at the graph on the left, we see that production has fallen significantly in 2020. Like in other countries, the Indian mining sector was affected by COVID-induced lockdowns and labor issues, but chromo was vastly affected by the mineral block auctions in 2020. So let's do a quick recap. Sukinda, Karmada, and Sorabil are the three major chromo mines that were auctioned and that accounted for around 46% of India's chromo production, and mining activity remained suspended for several months. All the three mines were backed by Tata Steel Mining Limited, TSML. Well, the major shift in the Indian chromo mining space has led to a consolidation in the industry, and only 2 merchant miners are left in the Indian market, OMC and Tata Steel. The mining sector saw a huge backlash due to the auctions, lockdowns, and dispatch issues back in 2020, while in 2021, demand from smaller producers was also limited, as many shifted to manganese alloys for better profits. This has resulted in chromo auctions fetching a poor response and the dispatches falling significantly to the smaller ferrochrome producers. Thus, we see reduced production of chrome ore, especially in the first and third quarter of 2021. If we look at the graph,
Yes. Yeah, next. Yes.
This slide shows the company-wise breakup of capacity and India's yearly production volume. Although IMFA and Jindal Stainless remain the two largest ferrochrome smelters in India, TSML holds most of the production in the Indian market, as many plants like Aarti and Navbharat are doing conversion for TSML. In addition to this, TSML also has some partial conversion partnerships with few other major producers. Meanwhile, TSML is also set to acquire Rohit Ferrotech, for which it was a successful resolution applicant. Post-approval, TSML is expected to be the largest producer of ferrochrome and would hold around 25% of the total Indian ferrochrome capacity. Currently, IMFA, Indian Metals and Ferroalloys, and TSML are the only two players with good quantity and quality of captive resources, giving them a competitive edge over other producers. It is also to be noted that the Indian ferrochrome capacity is expected to expand. IMFA is expected to increase its ferrochrome capacity by 1 lakh ton from its current capacity of 2,84,000 tons. It is expected that the additional capacity might come online sometime during the latter half of 2023. Meanwhile, TSML has announced last year that the company would be doubling its capacity to 0.9 million tons or 9 lakh tons through greenfield and brownfield expansions, though the company hasn't set any timeline for the same. We can see that the company is increasing its production quite actively through conversion partnerships and expansions through acquiring existing plants. Jindal Stainless is also expected to increase its capacity to 0.35 million tons from 0.25 million tons by 2024. (2021) was a spectacular year for the Indian ferrochrome industry, with ferrochrome prices breaking all records after seeing a dip in April to May 2020 period, when the prices dropped to around rupees 58,000 per ton. In 2021, ferrochrome prices were mostly governed by China's steel production cuts in a bid to reduce carbon emissions, and also owing to its dual carbon control policy. Increased electricity costs, along with power cuts and forced shutdowns, lowered production in China, pushing up domestic prices in that country. Moreover, due to unrest in South Africa during July 2021, chrome ore prices increased as major ports declared force majeure, propelling Chinese ferrochrome prices. Chinese inquiries, as a result, flooded the Indian market on possible supply concerns, and we saw increased exports to China in August 2021. As China consumes around 30% of India's total production, it led to an increase in Indian ferrochrome prices domestically as well. Meanwhile, in September 2021, the production of Chinese ferrochrome was hit significantly, but steel production also remained restricted and was further knocked out by major mills rolling over prices for October. However, the domestic demand for steel picked up in India during the festive season, and the ferrochrome smelters saw good demand in the domestic market. However, given high ferrochrome prices, the prices of chrome ore also increased significantly in the country, pushing up production costs by around 40% from the 2019 levels. Even though the prices of ferrochrome were at all-time highs, the industry faced some major challenges. In this graph, we can see the percentage share of components in the total cost of production. There was a significant shift in the cost of production, although ore prices increased by 67% in October 21 year on year. Its percentage share in the operating cost increased to only 48% from 46% in 2019. There was a significant increase in the cost of reductants as well. The reductant cost accounted for only 18% of the total production cost back in 2019, while now it accounts for around 24 to 25% of the total production cost, which is a hike of over 76% from 2019 levels in October 21. Metallurgical coke, which is also one of the key raw materials for ferrochrome, witnessed a huge shortage worldwide for geopolitical reasons. Coke prices increased substantially on low availability, pushing up the production cost. Low ash met coke prices went up by 85%, which increased in the production cost significantly. Meanwhile, there was some increase in the power cost owing to the increased steam coal prices and availability concerns for the captive power units. We also understand that the power costs increased further for the suppliers who are dependent on the grid. As more than 65% of the power generation in India is coal-fired, the increase in coal prices hit the power industry quite significantly. India went through a phase of electricity shortage and severely low coal inventories at power plants. Although it was a brief period of scarcity, the effects were clearly reflected in the prices. Meanwhile, if we see the graph on the left side, we would know that during August to September 2021, the coal allocation to non-power sector reduced significantly as the power plants were accorded priority. Now coming to the ferroalloys, there are only a few producers that are completely self-reliant in terms of captive power. Thus, these industries remained well prepared with enough imported coal stocks available with them, which kept their prices, their production unhampered. Now, if we look at the second graph, we can see that MCL Mahanadi Colliery Limited had significantly increased the average number of rake delivery to the power sector, which helped the ferrochrome industry in Orissa remain largely unaffected during the power shortage. Thus, ferrochrome smelters who are partially or completely dependent on the grid also didn't face any major power cuts. High prices, though, was a major factor for both captive and non-captive power plants. Besides high costs, the industry faced significant logistical challenges. Let's look at the diesel prices in the left-hand side graph. India witnessed a significant increase in diesel prices from around 72 rupees per liter in Jan 21 to more than 100 rupees per liter in December 21. Now coming to seaborne transportation, there was significant congestion at ports and higher waiting time. Due to this, the international freight costs also increased by around 4 times in 2 years. That is all from my end. Under the backdrop of the ongoing war in Europe and sanctions on Russia, which has led to a sharp surge in energy costs and commodity prices, especially nickel. There are several doubts that have surfaced now regarding stainless steel production. We would now ask our speaker, Mr. Gupta, a few questions. To begin with, sir,
yes.
Yes, sir. To begin with, India's steel capacity is rising fast. What is the projected expansion in stainless steel capacity in the country in the coming years? If you can throw some light on that, sir.
Yeah, thanks. See now, in India, I think we are witnessing that steel production capacities are increasing very rapidly, not alone in steel, but in stainless steel also. Okay, we are aware that presently the steel production in India is somewhere around 120 million tons, and as per the government estimates and projections, which they have decided to put up at least 300 million ton production capacity by 2030. In which, in stainless steel also, the present capacity, stainless steel production capacity is around 3.5 million ton, which we are expecting to go up to 5 million ton by 2023. Okay, it's 1.5 million ton straight away, and there is an increase. And in by 2024, another 1 million ton is expected to come up. So in 2 years, 2.5 million ton stainless steel production capacities are going to come up. The work is already there, and in various fields and in various sectors. So with this enhancement and the rapid growth, and it is all because of two factors. First, the domestic demand is increasing. There is a good demand in domestic market. Yes, it is challenged by the imports from China and Indonesia, which is really affecting the domestic steel industry. And because the sanctions, the anti-dumping which was levied on Indonesian from Xinjiang, it has been removed. So sorry. So now we are expecting, rather it's already around 1.5 lakh ton of stainless steel 200 series has already arrived in India in last 3 months. So the expansion is there and the demand is there, but sorry, but what we are witnessing is if the imports from the different route is going to reach India, this Indonesian and Chinese products, so the domestic demand will get affected. But yes, the another door which has opened is overseas, the European market. The demand is there, and it is further going to improve because of the recent developments in Ukraine and Russia, where the sanctions are there, and the energy transmission from Ukraine and Russia towards Europe is going to get stopped. So now the steel production may get hampered in Europe and other places. So the exports from India will definitely increase, which is going to support the increase in stainless steel production.
Right. Nice. Coming to China, sir. China's stainless steel production remains stagnant at around 30 million tons per year. Given the steel production curves in the country, is it correct to say that stainless steel production has already peaked in China?
So it's very difficult to predict right now because in between 2000 October 2020 onwards and in 2021, the stainless steel production in China, it was around 26 million tons, which is touching 29 million ton in 2021 December somewhere. So it is touching 29 30 million ton. So it is very difficult to say that it has already peaked because the hunger in China, because it hasn't stopped, because the more infrastructure is coming. But yes, what we have heard very recently, that government has put a slowdown in the infrastructure development in China, which may affect the consumption or of stainless steel and steel in China infrastructure industry, because the exports are also not happening towards Europe from China because of sanctions. So it is too early to predict that the saturation has happened in China, because we have to just wait for another 2 months, because we expect by June the policy from China will make things clear how they are going to look upon towards stainless steel and carbon steel. Because we all know that in China, because of carbon emission and other things, most of the production capacities are getting converted into EF from blast furnace. So it is also an indication that yes, the steel production will continue over there, and I don't foresee that there will be any reduction, because we have to wait for 2 months, because by June the situation will get clear. But yes, still China is positive, because they have reduced, they have curtailed their production of stainless steel and steel in last 4 months because of February Olympics. So for those 4 months shortfall, they are going to cover in March, April, and May. So March, April, May will be rampant. There will be high production. But yes, June is the month where the new policy will come up. Yes.
So also China has, pushed forward its guidance for carbon peak emission from 2025 to 2030.
Yes. Yes.
Also, there's some quantitative easing there, so they could ramp up production again.
Yes, but it is not. But see, it is not going to happen so early, because they have to first take care of their internal requirement, and because this is what I said in June. I think major policy decisions will come out after just closure of this geopolitical issue, which is all of a sudden which has erupted. Otherwise, had this not happened, so March, April, May was very buoyant for steel industry in China. Because what they have lost in 4 months, they have to cover that first. Right. So we have to wait. Yes.
Oh, sir, please continue, sir. You were saying something.
No, it's all right. Yes.
Okay, so coming back to India, and you spoke about good demand coming in from Europe. What is the export outlook for stainless steel from Indian mills in 2022?
Yeah, it's very positive. It's very positive, and I think whatever shortfall the Indian producers will face in India from domestic market, they will cover up from exports, because the imports will come from China and Indonesia. So, but yes, the market the market has opened up for Europe, and the good part is US also. Because in US also the heavy demand is there for stainless steel. So US is also going to have good imports from India for sure. So it's a very good time, and till 2020, be it stainless steel or steel, all will remain positive, because the market futures are very positive. The demand is there, and the consumption is there, and all what all is required, raw material is, everything is there. The biggest challenge will come from the shipping industry, because that's the major challenge which rather I should say the entire steel industry is facing in India, because the shipping lines have really gone other way, and nothing is available in India, and the sanctions which has happened in Russia, so the movement for containers from that route has also stopped. So next 3 months are very critical and crucial. But yes, the steel industry will remain positive, and it's a good sign for Indian infrastructure.
Right. What about the threat from imports, with anti-dumping duty on Chinese origin material no longer in place? Plus, there's also a possibility of disguised Chinese exports through Indonesia. How big a threat is this for Indian?
This is what I mentioned. Yes, this I mentioned a while ago. Yes, this is the reason the domestic demand will shift to imports. Okay, what all imports will come from China or Indonesia or whatever route they follow. So they are going to take care of the domestic demand, because their prices, because they all are sitting in the nickel hub. Okay, so they have a better pricing structure. And moreover, the Indian government foreign trade policy, where the custom duties is also not there. So, but the another door which has opened for exports for Europe and US. So the balance will be there. There will not be any imbalance where steel industries will suffer. Yes, for some we expect, because let this war be over, because then the clear picture will come out in which segment there will be more demand, because 300 series is definitely getting impacted because of this nickel pricing. So it is very difficult to predict right now. But as a whole, stainless steel is positive. The demand is there, and fortunately, the backup in backward integration, the raw material supplies, everything is in place.
So, to elaborate a little bit on that, I would request you if you can educate us a little bit on the application of uh, nickel in particular, in which particular stainless steel series. You mentioned that 300 series, requires more of nickel, but is it
Yeah.
also possible that production of can we increase chrome in 300 series and reduce nickel? Is that a possibility? And also, if you can also tell us, if instead of 300 series, can more of 200 or 400 be produced, and if the application is the same?
Yes, yes. This is the reason. That there is a shift. There is a shift in the quality and the demand from 300 to 200 series, and it's a manganese focus and chrome and manganese focus in steel is in demand now, and that is the 200 series. And this is the reason there is a good shift, and the steel producers where 300 series got impacted, 200 series has taken care. But unfortunately, 200 series is coming from China and Indonesia route. So wherever the scope of improvement was there, it has got hampered from imports. So because of nickel, the 300 series was getting affected. So the another hope was to convert or change the demand and production cycle from 300 to 200, which was there and is a good sign. But unfortunately, again, the imports of 200 series steel is impacting the Indian industry. So we expect the export, the demand in Europe and USA will take care of the excess in India.
Right, sir. So we're getting a lot of questions on nickel. So I'll ask one myself. So nickel prices on the LME are at record highs. How is this affecting JSL's imports?
See, now what has all happened? It happened in last 7-8 days. So it's unprecedented. So this unprecedented development in nickel, which has risen from $27,000 to whichever the new height is, it's all speculative, articulative, whatever you say. So it is here the business is not happening. That is the reason the LME ring in UK has stopped the the mentioning and the trading of nickel for last 5 days, and today hopefully it should open. So until this nickel LME ring opens up and the customers get to know the exact situation, so it will remain under suspension. Yes, what all orders were booked prior to that, yes, they are under discussion how that they have to be handled. But yes, the customers, those who have booked, they will be taken care of. But further bookings, it's not the customer, even the seller, they are also feeling the same pressure. What they will do with the nickel stocks? Okay, because a lot of hatching was done, because for this fiasco, what has all happened, it's not the one reason which has the sanctions on Russia, but there are many factors which has contributed in escalating the prices beyond the expectations. So until the nickel prices comes to the level where it is accepted by the customers, so I don't think it will be very easy for anyone, for the seller or even the buyer, to get into the nickel. So we have to again wait. But yes, the nickel LME is somewhere around 24, 25, 26,000 ton. It's all good because the market is positive. So this range of the bandwidth between 23,000 to 27,000 tons, it's good enough, where the customers are there to pay and the produce the products, and the demand is there. But going beyond that, I don't think it is very easy for anyone to accept. It's not easy.
Right. So for JSL's scrap import volumes in 2021, and how has the import scenario been impacted by the Russia-Ukraine conflict, particularly for stainless steel scrap?
Mr. Rohan, because again, had this war not happened, okay, so then the business was happening as usual, and then there was no any embargo on the movement of stainless steel scrap, because it all depends who pays what, and the movement of scrap happens there. But this development is something which everyone wants to wait to settle it down, because yes, a good quantum of SS scrap was coming from Russia, but similarly stainless steel was also going to Russia, so both have stopped. It is not the stainless steel which is coming to India or this part of the world. It's the export of stainless steel finished goods to Russia and the neighboring countries. It all has stopped. So that balance has been maintained, because the scrap is not coming, nor the finished good is going over there. So this needs to be understood very clearly. But yes, the shortage of nickel, which is not actual, it is all speculative. This needs to first settle down. It's very important. It needs to settle down. And you have asked for the scrap what Jindal has imported. I think in India overall, because it's not Jindal, because there are all big importers of stainless steel scrap. So it's a good volume which take care, because I think in 2021 it was a good volume, because if we understand, it was somewhere around 1.2 lakh ton of stainless steel scrap which was imported per month.
So maybe more than half of that was by Japan.
Yes. Per month. I'm saying per month.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So because it all depends, because in stainless steel there are many grades. It's a 400 series, 200 series, and 300 series. So if we combine that, then it goes around 2 lakh tons per annum, per month. So scrap import are there, but yes, now China has, when shifting shifting his production capacities from blast furnace to EF, so they have also started importing scrap. Okay, so now the paradigm shift has changed, which got stopped in 2017, 16-17. Okay, because they stopped importing scrap, stainless steel scrap, because of environmental issues. So all those type of scraps were started coming towards India. Okay, so now because this development has taken place very recently, around 6 months back, so we have to just watch how much scrap gets moved towards Russia, towards China, and what about then the Indian for the Indian customers. So, but the opportunities are there, because stainless steel scrap is in surplus. So it all depends, and the best part is, if the production capacities get affected because of energy power in Europe, then there is scrap is surplus. Then scrap is surplus. Then the scrap will it will not make any effect, how much is going to China, because what all India requires, so we will get. So it's all business dynamics, which is changing from one perspective to another perspective. So the doors are open, and I don't think that Indian steel makers will struggle somewhere, because in Europe the production is going to get curtailed, so the scrap will move to India. But yes, but the important is the shipping line. The shipping line is a major challenge for any importer to get the raw material to India, and even the same within export also. So this needs to be addressed. This needs to be addressed.
Right, sir. Coming to ferrochrome now, how do you see the impact on Indian ferrochrome production in the future? with China increasing its capacities?
See, China, no. We discussed, see, now whatever China has the production capacities, it is there. And whatever ferrochrome requirement China requires, it's also there. Because yes, in last 8-9 months, yes, their stocks has depleted sharply, and they have to recover those stocks, for which the chrome ore prices have started increasing. But what is more important for everyone to understand is, when in India, the stainless steel production is increasing from 3.5 million ton to 5 million ton and will increase to 6 million ton, then the ferrochrome requirement will also increase, proportionately. Okay, because that is more important for us to understand how that ferrochrome will be handled and catered by the stainless steel producers. Because now if 2.5 million ton production comes up in next 2 years, so again we would be requiring around around zero point 0.5 or 0.6 million ton of ferrochrome for here in India. So as you have mentioned that IMFA is increasing its capacity, and Tata is also increasing capacity, but that will not be sufficient, because more of ferrochrome producers have to come up to take care of the increase in demand. But now the question is how it will happen, because there is a good demand for manganese alloys. Most of the producers are focusing, and I'm talking of those producers, those who have a option to switch between ferrochrome and manganese alloy. Those who are totally captive ferrochrome producers like Nabharat, Imfa, Jindal, and Tata, wherever Tata have their own units, so they all will be there. But what is important is whether we are going to have that much increase in ferrochrome production, which is going to take care of the increase in stainless steel production, is very important. Because most of the big producers, they are aligned, committed to the annual export orders, so they will remain with them. But the other producers, those who are between manganese alloys and ferrochrome, how they will decide, because they are getting better realization, better EBITDA in manganese alloys. So chrome is point of concern for everyone, because for 2.5 million ton of stainless steel production, approximately somewhere around around 0.4 0.5 million ton of ferrochrome would be required. 0.4 0.5 million ton, 5 lakh tons. And I think and if you see the total ferrochrome production, out of which hardly 0.4 million ton is available for the domestic market, because whatever is produced, it's either exported or is in captive.
Right.
So this needs to be the Indian ferro industry, and either people have to go into backward integration, because depending upon the market is not so easy, because the switching from chrome to manganese and manganese to switch chrome is something which is going to affect the Indian industry.
And so chrome ore is also a very scarce resource. And what are the possibilities that chrome ore gets exported from India? Isn't that also a challenge which the stainless industry?
I don't think the government will allow for exports, because they have to safeguard the Indian industry. At present, the chrome ore is there. The prices are definitely it's in line with the ferrochrome prices. But yes, when the extra capacities are going to come in next 2 years, for that, how the chrome ore available in India, be it with OMC or any private mine owners, it is going to take care of the increase in demand. There the government has to, or otherwise imports will happen. Imports will happen because I don't think the single industry, OMC or Mistry Lal and whosoever, because it's all again owned by Tata.
Yes, sir. There are only two
So the
merchant miners now.
yes, the chrome ore will again be a cause of concern. How to meet that increased demand, because for 0.5 million ton of ferrochrome, okay, so one would be requiring around 1.2 million tons of further, okay, so of chrome ore.
So all of this suggests like ferrochrome prices will remain high in the domestic market, and primarily because of demand, and also the cost push, because ore, chrome ore, met coke, and power costs are all increasing. So in line with that, do you see rupees 1 lakh per metric ton as the new low for ferrochrome prices?
Yes, looking at the the indices of the ferrochrome, the chrome ore cost, the coke cost, the power, and the molasses, what all is required to produce. Yes, the intrinsic value is somewhere around touching 1 lakh rupees. Yes. Yes, but again, we have to see what is more important is price is something which a customer can pay. What is important is the availability, because if a shortage is created or shortage happens for whatever reason, that really affects any customer, because customer is ready to pay the price, because if he is able to sell his finished good at a reasonable price, it's all a supply chain. More important is the supplies should be there in the market.
Right, sir.
It's very important. Very important.
Yes, sir. Just following up on that, on your comment that supply is the major concern, and this year could be a year of sanctions and trade restriction. What challenges do you foresee the stainless steel industry and the ferrochrome industry to face?
See, sanctions are there only in Russia or Ukraine, wherever. But otherwise, there is no any restriction to move the stainless steel or ferrochrome from any part of the world. So it's not. I don't think it is going to affect the industry so bad, because again we have to wait only for 3 months. Let the situation settle down, and how the Chinese demand comes up from June onwards. So then only we can think of uh, uh, because one thing is there, if everything is normal, still in India or in other countries, the infrastructure movement development is happening very fast. So they all require steel in whichever form. So the demand, which I said in the morning just a while ago, the demand is there, the positivity is there for next few years. It's for sure. So one need not to worry that it's, though yes, it's a very open fact that steel market and prices are cyclic. Okay, because 3 months it remained positive, then 3 months a lull is there, then a downfall is there, then again it's cyclical. It will happen, but it will not be as concerning as it happened in past many years, because the positivity has come from 2020, because this COVID 2020 is something which which will go into history for understanding it. It was bad for the human lives, okay, because it has ruined many families, but for the industry it was definitely food for thought, because soon after the COVID, from August September 2020, the steel industry has growing like anything, and it's a very positive sign.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
So coming back to The commodity which is of most interest to our participants, nickel. Chinese stainless steel mills are planning to increase production in Indonesia as they can have easier access to nickel. How will Indian mills secure nickel, considering the prices they are at?
No, it will not be a problem because what Indonesian government has decided that the nickel ore will not get exported. They have to convert into finish.
Nickel pig, I think, is getting exported.
Nickel pig iron
Chinese mentioned, yeah.
ferro nickel pig iron, whatever. Okay, so it is there and the flow will happen. It will not get restricted. It's for sure. The nickel movement will be there and the market, the demand will be there. It will never happen that because of nickel any industry or any customer will suffer. It will not happen. It will not happen.
Right, sir.
Yes, you never know if the present geopolitical issue extends and it goes further worsen, then it's very difficult. But let everything settle down. Normalcy is there in every part of the world. Then the production and the business will happen was it was happening before this crisis. I'm again saying all positivity is there in the steel industry. Yes.
So I'll ask one more question on this. This will be my last question. India doesn't generate much stainless steel scrap. It does not have its own nickel source. Also, power tariffs are very high in the country. Considering all this, how do you foresee the future of Indian stainless steel industry?
See, again, the demand is there. It will remain positive because it is a demand-driven industry. Because be it carbon steel, alloy steel, or stainless steel, the demand is there. The backward integration and forward integration, everything will happen. Because I don't foresee any imbalance or restriction from any part of the supply chain. It will happen. Yes, in India we do not have stainless steel scrap, but as I mentioned, in Europe and other parts of the world, it is there. Japan is having a good quantity, and now because if stainless steel scrap get restricted for whatever reason, then you have nickel pig iron, ferro nickel is there. Then again the pressure will come on chrome. The only thing the pressure will come on chrome again. The pricing and the cost structure of the steel will get slightly changed. It will slightly get changed, but the demand will be there. But I don't foresee that there will be any restriction or holding of the stainless steel movement, stainless steel scrap, because Europe want to, because they use the very clean stainless steel scrap, okay, because of their own nature and SOP of the climate conditions. The balanced stainless steel scrap, which is there in whichever form, because we have seen there are many forms of stainless steel scrap which is getting exported out from Europe and US, and earlier which was going to China, now it is coming to India. So it will happen because they are not going to hold it, because their environment conditions are such they cannot use such type of stainless steel scrap which going to pollute or imbalance their ecosystem. So the movement will be there, and I don't think that there will be any holding or restriction in the stainless steel production, because you have nickel pig iron, ferro nickel is there, and slowly the research is happening to reduce the dependence on nickel. Okay, and that is the grades are coming. Manganese alloys, manganese grade steel is coming with chrome, and and the usage is coming, and the demand has started coming. That's the 200 series which is there. So I don't foresee any challenge. The challenge present is, let the war be over. The shipping line should behave properly. Yes, we understand they faced many challenges in the past many years, which the result the Indian the every customer is facing. You know, they also face the bad times. So now the customers are facing the same time. So it's just a balancing equation. But yes, shipping lines has to come forward, and the government, all the governments have to come forward to ensure that shipping lines and the space availability, containers, they all are now. Wow, I recently heard that most of the big customers, they are now fabricating their own containers, reducing the dependence on the agencies, and they are producing, constructing, fabricating their own containers, and requesting the shipping line just to create this space. So it is going to happen, and in India and in some part of Southeast Asia, this industry is now flourishing. The private companies are coming up to produce the containers, to fabricate the containers, to just take care of the shortfall, because we all know where the containers are getting, stagnated. We all know.
Right, sir.
Yeah.
So, due to paucity of time, we will have to bring this session to a close. But any feedback, anything you want to tell us about this Engage series, sir?
Yeah, it's good. It's good, and I think this should keep happening, because it brings connectivity with the the users and the industry people, those who are there. So it gets connected, because here your dialogue, your understanding is there in the market. Okay, you also get to know the other speakers and other views, what they are have understanding and what they have experienced, because there are many things which doesn't come in the market. So it's a welcome step, and I think it's happening after a long time. If I recollect, it was decided that every 6 monthly or once in a year this should happen.
Yes, sir. This is exactly our idea, to facilitate this kind of information sharing. Thank you for those comments, and for joining us and sharing your valuable insights.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, NMDC, JSW Steel, and Tata Steel, and also the Ministry of Steel, Government of India, and Steel Association of India, Indian Steel Association, for their valuable support. Do join us in half an hour at 12:30 for our next session on developments in the Indian mining policies and the way forward. That is at 12:30.
It's very important. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for all your time and insights.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Rohan. Thank you.
Bye, sir.
All the best. Thank you. All the best.